Dear students, today our first lesson for the week is on reading comprehension. This will help you to improve your vocabulary and reading skills. Lesson 1 is a reading comprehension. You have to read the descriptions A to E, study the pictures and then match the descriptions with the relevant pictures. Here children, there are few words that you will need some explanations. So, let's read them one by one. Most endangered, that means at risk of no longer existing. Snout, the long nose, an area around the mouth of some animals. Swamps, a type of wetland. Maturity, that means the state of being fully grown. Dwarf, that means much smaller than the normal size. Miniature, again very small. Now children, read the descriptions one by one yourself. Study the pictures and do the matching exercise. Then you can check your answers. Here are the answers. If you are interested in knowing more about the smallest animals in the world, there is a link here. Follow it. Now copy the table into writing books and complete it. Then you can write a description about one of the smallest things you have ever heard of. Do it in your writing books. That is the end of the first lesson. Dear students, let's move to our second lesson for the week. In this grammar lesson, we are going to compare things. It will also help you to improve your vocabulary. Here are three boys, Ravi, Naveen and Lahiru. Ravi is tall. When we compare Ravi and Naveen, we can say Naveen is taller than Ravi. When we compare all the three boys, we can say Lahiru is the tallest. So, tall, taller and tallest are three adjectives. They describe the three boys. An adjective has three forms as positive, comparative and superlative. A positive adjective stands alone. As you can see the example tall. Ravi is tall. A comparative adjective is used to compare two things. Taller. As you can see, here we change the positive adjective adding the suffix er. A superlative adjective is used to compare more than two things. Tallest. Here we change the positive adjective adding the suffix est. Now let's see the example sentences. Ravi is tall. Naveen is taller than Ravi. Lahiru is the tallest. Normally, the word than is used with comparative forms. The is always placed before the superlative form. So, here than and the. these two words are very important. They help us to identify the comparative and superlative forms clearly. And again, children, you have to remember, whenever we use them, comparative and superlative forms, you have to place than and the in proper place. There are two ways that you can change the positive adjective to the comparative and superlative form. One way is adding suffixes, a, est. We already discussed it. Example, tall, taller, tallest. The other way is adding more and most. When the word has more letters, it is not easy to use suffixes. So we follow this method. Here the example, you can see beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. As usual, the rules can't be applied everywhere in the same manner. Here too, there are some exceptions. There are some words that change differently in comparative and superlative forms. For example, here you can see the word good. Comparative form better, superlative form is best. Okay, children, and now let's remind certain rules we should consider when adding suffixes. Words ending with y. When we add a suffix to a word ending with y, we drop y and add I before adding the suffix. As in the example, you can see easy, easier, easiest. Before adding er and est, y is dropped and I is added. Then move to the next one. As we know, CVC words double their last consonant before adding the suffix. Example, big, bigger, biggest. Now children, let's see what is given in our textbook. Here there are three pictures. First one, a big bag, a bigger bag, and the biggest bag. We can change the words and their meanings by adding suffixes to words at the end. These new words help to compare. A long beak, a longer beak, and the longest beak. In this table, you can see more examples for positive, comparative, and superlative forms of adjectives. Note the letter changes of some words that occur when we make the comparative and superlative forms. We discuss it. Happy, happier, happiest. Easy, easier, easiest. Pretty, prettier, prettiest. Dirty, dirtier, dirtiest. Fast, faster, fastest. Here in this table you can see more examples for adjectives, that comparative and superlative forms that we add more and most. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Enjoyable, more enjoyable, most enjoyable. Attractive, more attractive, most attractive. Dangerous, more dangerous, most dangerous. Helpful, more helpful, most helpful. Here in this table you can see more examples for words that change differently in comparative and superlative forms. Now children, you can study this picture, and there's a paragraph. You have to fill the blanks. Complete the worksheet. Do it yourself first. Then check your answers. Here there is a simple poem. Let's read it first. If all the seas were one sea. If all the seas were one sea, what a great sea that would be. If all the trees were one tree, what a great tree that would be. If all the axes were one axe, what a great axe that would be. If all the men were one man, what a great man he would be. And if the great man took the great axe and cut down the great tree and let it fall into the great sea, what a great splash that would be. I think you can enjoy the poem. Simple poem, everyone can understand it. Here you are asked a few questions. Find the pairs of rhyming words in the poem. Then second one, which two lines do you like most in the poem? And write them. Third part is the most important question. Here you are asked to write your own poem using the given phrases. Here are the phrases. If all the skies were one sky. If all the stars were one star. If all the wings were one wing. If all the birds were one bird, what would happen? So children, use your creativity and write a poem. Now children, you can do the workbook activities, activity 4 and 5. Multiple choice questions are available at Richmond College Chhatra website. All the links are down in the description box below.